But the white man told us that our children and this rap thing is bad and incorrect, and we began to beat up our own babies to check him so that he wouldn't be displeasing to the white man. And we haven't even analyzed the effects of rap as a protest movement using the only instrument available, because psychologically they had told them, look at what I've done to you in the 60s. I've killed you, I've jailed your best. If you come at me, I'm going to do that to you. You can't come like the Panthers. You can't come like the Republic of New Africa. You can't come like Malcolm X. And the kids said, we'll come dancing, but we'll also give consciousness too. But post-slavery trauma syndrome haven't allowed us to see it because we are too busy trying to keep them from being killed by inflicting fear on them, telling them not to antagonize the white man, not to get him upset. So we are trying to suppress the most revolutionary instrument in the 70s and 80s instead of transforming it as another weapon in the arsenal of our revolution. And we haven't done it well. Now, I know some brothers and sisters have supported these young brothers and sisters, and some have done it and used it. But I'm saying enough of us haven't done it, and then those of us who have done it have not done it well enough. Okay. But it goes deeper than that. Let's talk about love. We think love is sexual brutalization and the sensation that comes therefrom. And we go right into gray hair time thinking that's the deal. Yeah, gray hair time. I'm getting gray hair time too. I'll be 50 this year. I met Malcolm at 16, so gray hair time is a good time. I didn't think I was going to make 21. Stand up here at 49. This is a good time, you know. But let's look at how we love. Let's look at how we make relationships. We build relationships like we don't want to have relationships. We don't build relationships for eternity. We build relationships on the same model as the white man that walked into that cabin and took that sister on that night and violated her in the way Sister Williams was talking about. Think about it now, brothers. I mean, we got to be real. I've done it to more than one and more than two sisters. Took me a long time to wake up to the deal, you know. Not that I went on some vicious negative road because I chose it. What I finally realized is that what I was imitating was the slave master, because he was the model of manhood for the most part. That's the way he did it. Now, most of us in this room have been in the revolution struggling for a long time, so we've hung with our family and hung with the children. Even the children we've had out of wedlock, we've hung with them, because I've got two out of before I got married, and I've hung with them. I'm still hanging with them. They heading to 30s, but Daddy's still in there trying to make sure they do the right thing. I don't care whether they want me there. I'm Daddy forever, and I tell them that. So I'm hanging in there. But we know that a lot of us haven't. And then we turn and look at the youngsters out there and say, well, you know, the morals have gone. How can something go they've never had? Okay? That white man, look at me. Yeah, I'm Native American and African, but I know some cracker walked through here because he had the right to do it based on his terrorism and his forcefulness on my mama, going back to all that Mama's sister was talking about. And when I look at that, what did he do? For 400 years, molest and rape and walk away from his children, even enslave and then molest and rape his own children. Y'all think about it now. This is who we are. We are the product of this behavior. And we were told through the actions of those carrying out that behavior that unless you behave like this, you will be killed. You will be brutalized. You will be denied possibility. And somebody in our ancestry had to make a decision to survive. Damn, we can't all bucket and die, because then it's over. Yes, some of the sisters threw the babies in the sea and jumped in after them. And then some who was standing by the rail said, well, wait, I can't deny her the right to do that, but somebody got to bring a stop to this. Somebody got to be around to stop it. We have to really look back at the damage the cracker has done to our psyche through the socialization process in his institutions, from the church to the schoolhouse. And let me be very clear, I have not a single ounce of respect for any religion outside of those indigenous to Africa. Understand that. Not one. And the people native to this land. The rest of them, chuck it up in a bucket and dump the garbage where it belongs. No offense. Let me tell you why I say that. Because if you had a squirrel that you had put in a situation of captivity and trained to be a rabbit, and kept him in rabbit behavior so long that he only saw himself in the context of being a rabbit, even if it was going to destroy him. And I come along, there's only one way to bring that squirrel back to being a squirrel, and that is to bring him back to being what a squirrel was before someone made him into a rabbit. And there's no way we can be half Africans. All right? Either we are Africans or we aren't. And unless we are clear on that question, for what then are we fighting? To be in partnership with the murderers? To help him design a better exploitation system for our stupid selves? Because that's what we have been doing. That's exactly what we have been doing. Oh, not so conscious as I'm now making it sound, but if we don't get conscious, our genocide will come through our own fingertips from our own minds, based on our imitation of those who have practiced genocide better than anyone in the history of this world. But again, back to love, because I don't want to leave that too lightly. We don't even know why we're supposed to be engaged in the process called love. We have confused the European concept of lust and sexual encounters with love. And we build families on these principles. Now, we've been lucky that Christianity and Judaism and Islam, which are nothing more than fragments from the periphery of the African cultural system that we sometimes call voodoo, fragments from the periphery of that system. There's enough left there that we've been able to use some of those ethical, moral precepts which did come out of the bowels of our histology to help us in the system. But it should be obvious to us now that it does not have enough, none of them combined, to liberate us. If it did, we would be a liberated people. And we're not. Because I remember meetings like this in the 60s. And we were discussing the very same things. And we had less people going to prison then, less people dying from drugs then, less family breaking up then, less kids being homeless then, less single-parent families then. With all of the great victories we had, let's stop and look now. Yes, we did the effort. Yes, we won major victories. No, we did not implement those victories in our behalf. And we can't lie to ourselves. God, I love the brothers and sisters who we've lost, you know, from Fannie Lou to Zaid Secor. I love them. And I know they were honest, and I know their hearts were great, and I know what they did with their efforts were good. But let's not lie about a victory we haven't won. Let's not lie, because we're in a dangerous position, because the cracker's at his most desperate moment right now. In all of his history, he has not been at a moment of this kind of desperation, because if he does not retake Africa and subdue the African American, his system is going to fall. And that means he's going to try to do both of those things as completely as possible, as soon as possible. And the only force in his way, let me be very honest without being arrogant, is the African American population, because for whatever reason, it is one of the most sophisticated political populations when it comes to dealing with, analyzing, and reacting to the politics of white supremacy and genocide. And it is probably because our growing up in the most vicious house of white supremacy in the world that we are equipped and psychologically qualified. But unless we understand the damage that has been done by the pains and traumas inflicted upon us by his behavior of inhumanity to man, we will continue to behave like the white man, even when we address like the African man and woman, even when we speak the language of revolution. We will not know how to love Queen Mother Moore. We just got through burying Sister Lewis. This is Sister Lewis, Sister Dorothy. In New York, about 2 weeks ago, we had a memorial for a brother named Brother Bonsu Nagy. Brother Bonsu go back to Malcolm. You can see this old man in Malcolm's been holding up that stick on here, since the days Malcolm was in the nation standing in front of Miss Shaw. But how we ended up burying Brother Bonsu 6 weeks after his death, because no one found him dead in that apartment until 2.5 weeks after his death. And then another 3.5 weeks, we couldn't find a relative until through a friend calling to see about him and couldn't reach him, then called Florida to a niece, who then called the police department nearby and was told by them, Mr.